I've received over 222 payouts, but I can tell you that there was one payout that completely changed my life. And I want to talk about how this exact payout can change your life too, along with a step-by-step plan for you to go from where you are right now into receiving that life-changing payout. No matter where you are right now, if you are a beginner or if you've already tried to get funded multiple times and are just waiting for the next step of getting the payout. First, I want to talk about the payout that completely changed my life. I had been trading for already 2 years and I had seen absolutely nothing in return. I didn't feel like I was good at trading. I wasn't funded and I didn't feel like I was even close to getting there. I had already spent multiple thousands of dollars on mentorships and a couple of $1,000s on prop firms. And I was very, very close to giving up. I passed my first ever prop firm challenge, a $10,000 challenge. And then directly after I thought, oh my God, I am profitable. I'm going for the 100K challenge. And instantly after I blew my funded account and the 100K challenge account without ever getting one payout or even one profitable trade on the funded account. And this was close to rock bottom in my trading because I had already tried for multiple years, as I said, and I thought that I needed something to show for, and I just didn't have anything. And I knew that something had to change. And so I stopped going for prop firm challenges and I just spent so long doing one thing, going back to the drawing board, understanding what were all of these strategies missing, because I knew that prop firms, they're profitable for profitable traders. So if I'm not being able to make it, then I am not a profitable trader just yet. So therefore I need to go to the drawing board. I spent months just learning and backtesting and looking for other ways, not doing any challenge, not getting any payout. And then a little bit after, I was finally ready. I went for my challenge. At this point, companies like Funded Next that had already reduced the profit target to 8% were already around, which by the way, with code Camel, you'll always get the best discount code. They have futures and CFDs, whatever you want. Prop firms like Funded Next, and at that point, it was my Forex funds that I started with, were already around. And it all, for some reason, felt a little bit easier to get there, because instead of 10%, I needed to make 2%. And better, I didn't have 30 days to do it, because before, if you don't know, in the prop firm industry, in the CFD industry, you only have 30 days to make 10% and 60 days to make 5% on the verification stage. And that was hard. That was really what was making me fail multiple times, because I would then over risk. And so I decided to go for a challenge. I took it slow, and within 1 month, I passed it. Verification stage, within 1 week. We got amazing conditions within 1 week. I passed it. And then the day finally came. I took a profitable trade and I thought, you know what? I'm going to reward myself. I'm not going to take any more trades. I'm just going to lock this in and enjoy the fruits of my labor. And no, this payout was nowhere near my biggest payout, yet it was my first one. And that payout changed my life. Why? Because I took that money, and you might say, well, Camel probably did the right thing and he went and bought more challenges to be able to scale up. No, I took that money and I told my family, we're going out for dinner. It was a life-changing moment for me, mainly because I had been trying for so long, and for a long time I felt like I wasn't gonna make it. I thought that there's no way I'm ever going to become profitable. I don't have what these profitable traders have. I don't know what it is either. But then I did it. I received my first payout and I took my family out to eat, and I spent all that money on dinner. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because a lot of traders, they look at their first payout being $1,000 or $500 or even a couple of $1,000s, and they think, oh, but this trader is making more money. I don't think you should be thinking like that, because first of all, you don't know the life that those traders live, right? And second of all, instead of looking outwards, look inwards. The work that you've been putting in right now is what got you to this point where you are getting that first payout, that second, that third, that fourth. And you should be thankful to yourself, not compare yourself to other people, because that's just going to bring your psyche down. So always be thankful for the payouts that you receive, not thankful to anyone else, to you, because you did this. And I want to make sure that I make this video for you to know that no payout is a small payout. Doesn't matter if it's $5,000, $3,000, $1,000, no payout is a small payout. And now there was a big very big, massive shift that happened that actually made me receive that payout. And I want to talk about what it was right now. So first of all, it was that I actually started listening to the right people and I fixed my strategy. So every single mentor that I had paid before, they were not present in the community at all. And all of the trade recaps were in hindsight. And I was like, well, that doesn't help me, does it? Because part of the reason as to why I was also failing was because half of my day was spent on thinking, is this actually possible? And so the first thing was listening to someone that was preaching the right things. And I think that the main click that I had was focus on direction every single day. Every single day, your goal is to focus on the direction of the market. And that's what's going to mean to fix your strategy. Right? You're going to have to strip your strategy down into 3 core pillars. Direction, this is number 1. This is the strongest foundation that you need to have in your trading strategy. Number 2 is going to be the levels you want to see the market reacting from. For myself and everyone inside of Funded Trading Blueprint, which by the way, you can check with the first link in the description, it was higher time frame key levels, order blocks, and fair value gap. These are the levels that we want to see the market going to, and these are the levels that we want to trade from. And then what's missing? The targets. So you have to be able to pick the right direction, which is not hard, by the way, the right key levels, which is also not difficult, and the right targets because the market is eventually going to stop. And so these are the 3 things that your strategy needs to have. And if you want to see my breakdown every single day where I say the direction, the key levels that I'm looking to trade from, how I'm looking to trade from them, and the targets, listen, I'm not going to say it for the rest of the video. Just know, if you want to become profitable, Funded Trading Blueprint is the place to be. In the second one, I didn't know how important this one was, but the second one is mastering the risk management. And it goes so deep that most traders think they've mastered it because they're like, oh yeah, I'm risking 1%. That doesn't make sense. It needs to be based on trade frequency. It needs to be based on the probability of the position. It needs to be based on if you're on a winning streak or on a losing streak. Risk management is not only the amount of percentage that you're risking, but also the number of trades that you're taking. It's about risk exposure. It's about the trading trifecta. It's about so many things that are risk management. So I want you to understand risk exposure every single week. You need to know this because that's going to affect the percentage that you're going to be risking every single week. Second, you have to be able to understand when to go aggressive and when not to go aggressive. And this is not based on percentage, this is based on aggressiveness of entry, which means the more aggressive an entry, the lower the probability it's going to be, but the higher the risk to reward. And you need to understand when to go for one type of entry and when to go for the other type of entry. Because when the market is ranging, the last thing you want to be doing is being aggressive. When the market is moving, the last thing you want to be doing is not be aggressive. Also applies with winning streaks and losing streaks. When you're on a losing streak, the last thing you want to do is enter in aggressive entries. Why? Because you want to get out of that drawdown as soon as possible. You want to get out of the losing streak as soon as possible. And that is how deep that risk management can go. You can go to a couple of risk management videos that I have where I break everything down. So we've now fixed the strategy. We're focusing on direction, higher time frame key levels, and targets. Now, second, we've mastered risk management. So risk exposure, percentage of risk tied to the trade frequency. Now we're going on to step 3, which is mastering prop firms. You need to understand that prop firms and personal accounts are not the same thing. Prop firms are insanely better than personal accounts. Why? Put $500 into a prop firm, you're gonna get, for example, on Funded Next, a $100,000 CFD account or multiple 50K accounts from futures, right? With code Kimmel, you always get the best discount code. Put that on a personal account and you're getting $500. What, you're gonna double that money? No, that's not good risk management. Yet, if you put it on a prop firm and you pass the challenge, then all of a sudden you now have $10,000 of available capital. Everyone says, no, it's not a 100K account. It's $10,000. On your personal account, it's $500. It's 20 times more. You can fail 20 times and you would have the same amount of money as if you would have put it 20 times on your personal account. Can you see how insane of an opportunity this is? This is the golden ages of trading. This is the best time to ever be a trader and to ever become a profitable trader. And for some reason, people are still saying, no, prop firms are bad. What do you mean? The math is all there. It's just not in favor of people that don't do the other steps. If you don't understand risk management, you're gonna lose. If your strategy is trash, you're gonna lose. Don't blame the prop firm, blame yourself. It is absolutely insane. So you need to master prop firms. You need to master this opportunity. You need to master the risk management of the prop firms and understand that maybe instead of going for a 100k account and risking 0.5, go for a 50k account and risk 1%. So you're not stuck in the challenge for so long. You need to get out of that challenge, get into funding, because this is where you can make money. Yes, don't pull all of your available capital into one account, but do it through multiple. Start slow. Go 10k, 50k, 100k, 200k. Go 10k, get a payout, put it into a bigger challenge. Mastering prop firms is a game of understanding your budget and simple maths. If you're gonna pass every single account, you can go for a bigger challenge. But if that means that you're gonna be 7 months on a challenge, then why not just go for a smaller account in which you put money that you are more than able to afford to lose and risk more so you can finally get funded and actually start getting paid, right? You need to understand this game. It's not like a personal account, but it's what is gonna make you the most amount of money, right? Are you not in trading to make money? You hear all these traders saying, no, prop firm traders are not professional traders. We're making money. It's that not what you wanted from trading? You wanted to make money. Now you make money. But because someone tells you, oh, but it's on a prop firm, who cares? Made more money than you on a personal. And that's really what matters. You need to master the art of prop firms. It's a different way of approaching. And believe me, it's highly rewarding. And then that's where you go into the funded. I recommend going lower risk on the funded because this is where you have the potential to finally make money, right? And I'm gonna be honest, if you are risking 1% and you have 10% of available drawdown, it's the same thing as risking 10%. It's true. It's still worth it, but it's true. Now, I personally recommend that if you haven't gotten a payout just yet, go for 0.5% risk until you get that payout. You enter in 1-2 profitable trades, you are able to lock that payout in, take that payout. Don't think, oh, I want to make more and more and more and more. No, get paid now. This is what I did for that payout that changed my life. I didn't try to go for more, but I can also tell you that I didn't risk 0.5% on a challenge. I tried, but I was there for 2 months. What am I doing on a challenge for 2 months, right? So with that being said, fix your strategy, master risk management, master prop firms, the game of prop firms, and then get paid by risking less on the funded accounts. With that being said, if you want more information about this, where I go much deeper into all the strategies that I use to pass and get funded, then check the first link in the description. And if you want to check out the best prop firm for CFDs and futures, then check out FundedX with code Kimmel. Will always get you the best discount code. Peace.